Welcome to the Women Awakening Project YouTube channel, a space to gather the wisdom of women across spiritual traditions. Have you ever wondered what's the real meaning of know thyself? Ramana Maharshi, one of India's greatest sages, was only 16 when he had a death experience which led him to self-realization. He left his own village and came to Arunachala, a sacred mountain he never left. For decades, seekers from all over the world came to sit in his silent presence, coming to know the meaning of the profound yet simple teaching, who am I? In this interview with Sneha Choudury, devotee of Bhagavan and editor of the book Women Devotees of Bhagavan, we will focus on Ramana Maharshi relationship towards women devotees and the feminine principle, having a glimpse on the extraordinary equanimity that enlightened masters have. I hope you enjoy the interview. Dear friends of the Women Awakening Project, we are here today in Tiruvannamalai, the south of India, with Sneha Choudury. Thank you for meeting the Women Awakening Project.
Thank you so much.
So for who doesn't know about Tiruvannamalai, it is a very sacred place, very special. Why? Because there is a sacred mountain, Arunachala, which is considered to be the manifestation of Lord Shiva, and the Ramana ashram, who is a famous ashram who gathers devotees from all over the world every year, and it's the ashram of Ramana Maharshi, who is an Indian sage of the last century, and much more than this. So today we are here to talk about this, and especially to talk on how Ramana impacted female devotees, women, and Sneha Choudury is a devotee of Bhagavan, and she has also been editing this wonderful book, Women Devotees of Bhagavan, who collects 43 stories of women who got in contact with Ramana Maharshi when he was alive in his physical body. And it's the stories of how they got transformed by meeting with him. So it's a very precious work. Actually, I want to say that the idea was of the president of Ramana Ashram. So we can really thank him for having this idea.
Really thank him. The written accounts of all these women devotees are in various books, but the president thought that we should really bring out a book, and he envisaged this, and he thought that the present day women devotees will do a good job collecting all these and presenting it. So along with me, there were a few others, Sunita, Mrs. Lalita, Madeya from Romania. And the president also has written a few articles in this. And that's how this book has come about.
Beautiful, a beautiful collective endeavor.
Yes.
To bring these voices alive and available for everybody to have inspiration. Thank you so much for doing this amazing work.
It is all Bhagwan's grace, actually. I would never have thought that I would be doing such a work, but when it came to me, I took it as Bhagwan's grace and did as best as I could.
Great. Great. So for our friends who don't know about Tiruvannamalai and the power of the mystery that is unfolding here daily, can you share a bit of what's the relationship between the mountain and Ramana Maharshi?
The mother principle, which is Arunachaleshwar. Why Arunachaleshwar is sacred? Like we have so many shrines of Shiva, But here in Arunachaleshwara, Parvati did tapas, and she merged in Shiva as Ardhanarishwara. So they say that the mother principle is very evident in this place, and women devotees, especially when they come here and do tapas and try to get connected with the inner being, they bear fruits faster. Yes,
Good for us.
it's really it's a blessing, you know. It's not. We may think that these stories are legends or hearsay, but everyone who have come here have experienced this. Yes, so Bhagwan, when he recollected all this, he used to say that I never went for Bhiksha in the early days, but food came to me because of the mother principle of Arunachaleshwara, who looked, yes, looked after his needs.
And can I ask you, who is Ramana for you?
Ramana is everything for me. When I was younger, I had many questions, many doubts why we pray, why we do certain rituals. And one day I came across this book, Be As You Are, and I felt that Bhagwan answered all my questions in that. And it was not that I believed so much in saints and sages, but I thought here is a person, like a very logical person, who has explained in very common terms what I needed to know. I read his books. I had no idea at that time about meditation, realization, and there are higher goals to strive for. But you know, Bhagwan's ways, they are mysterious, and at the same time they're very focused, I can say. You know, he sort of
very precise.
Very precise. He knows, you know, what we want and what we need. So he just sort of drew me, and I also found in Hyderabad a Ramana center. So we have satsangs every Sunday over there. That center was started in the year 1978 by one Dr. K. Subramaniam. And I went to the center in 1996, and it was amazing because the devotees there, they imbibe Bhagwan's teachings of compassion, love, care, concern. You know, at that time, I was going through my own personal crisis, and I needed a friend. I wanted an assurance that there are good people in the world, and this was a world of its own. You know, Bhagwan says ultimately everyone comes to Arunachala because Arunachala is the heart. Actually, there is nothing other than the heart. Grace, the light, everything is just the heart.
Yeah.
You know, it is. There's nothing in this world other than grace. But we feel when we have, like our wishes are fulfilled, we feel, oh, Bhagwan has been gracious. But even in our, the non-fulfillment of our wishes, there is grace because he makes us stronger and more accepting.
Yeah. He helps us to develop, I guess, equanimity, no?
Yes.
We cannot only look for the pleasant experiences of peace, and we might also go through some hardship, and that is necessary for us.
Yes.
And he was, of course, extremely equanimous.
Yes.
So regarding the way he was relating to women, so, and we are talking about the first half of the 20th century.
Yes.
How was his way of dealing with the women devotees? And can you recall some episodes of his equanimity and his incredible inclusivity, especially for that time?
So let me start with mother, because she was the one most affected when Ramana Maharshi left home, and she looked for him everywhere. And when she came here, she found him in the sorry state with long nails and unkempt
Mm.
hair. And she cried her heart out, but he wouldn't melt. And at that time, when she said, "Please come," he wouldn't talk also. And then some devotee told Bhagwan, "She is your mother, please tell her something." And then he wrote saying that whatever has to happen will happen, try as you may. So better to be silent. And she went back, but then she came back later. And at that time, she came and she was unwell. And Bhagwan looked after her and also prayed to Arunachala to give her good health and let her come out of her body afflictions. And yeah, these two actually are the main, the first things which Bhagwan has actually written. The first Upadesha
Mm.
is
So
the
beautiful.
ordina controls everything.
Yeah.
That is the first thing he has written. Then the who am I and all came later, when the
Mm.
devotees asked questions about many things, like what is
Mm.
the aim in life, and
Mm-hmm.
what are we aspiring for. Bhagwan said that everyone aspires for happiness, and what obstructs is that we think we are a body and we think we are a mind. So he has given many steps how
Yeah.
we overcome it all. After some time, after her son got married, Niranjanan Swami, he got married. She came here. She thought that she will spend the rest of the days with Bhagwan. Being Bhagwan's mother, she expected a special treatment. But Bhagwan being Bhagwan, he had no, like, of course, maybe he knew that being the mother of all, she has to evolve. So he was a bit strict with her. And keeping to those traditions of the olden days, she was from a Brahmin family. She was also a widow. So there were many strict rules she followed, like cooking. They all Brahmins, they cook by themselves. They don't let anybody cook for them, and they consume whatever they cook. And then first they give naivedyam. They put it to God, and then they eat. So she wouldn't allow anyone to touch her things, or if anybody touched her things, she would think that it's polluted. Those practices were prevalent though in those days, and she was just following them. It is not that. So Bhagwan brought her out of it by like many ways. He used to like make fun of her, or he would also tell her, "Don't do this." Once, what happened? Uh, Two of Bhagwan's devotees uh, came after Bhagwan had finished eating, and the leaf plates had some remnants of Bhagwan's food, and they took it as prasad and ate it. And he pointed out to the mother and said, "See, the devotees come with so much affection and devotion for me. You should see the devotion, not all this." And she slowly changed over the years, and she became a mother to everyone. And then it was difficult in Virupaksha cave for her because there was no source of water. Bhagwan used to fill two big kamandalus, it's called. It's a special type of vessel. And he used to pour it on her, and she would have a bath. But cooking food and all was a problem for her. And then later they came up to Skandashram, and there was a perennial source of water. And she is the one who started the kitchen. Yes, so.
And then eventually, I love this story of the mother, because then eventually he accompanied her to the full realization, which is
Yes,
the
yes,
greatest gift, of
yes.
course, anyone can do to another being, but especially a son to a mother.
To a mother,
It's
yes.
it's
So
wonderful.
he put his hand on her chest and another on her head, and ensured that all the thought processes which she was going through were silenced then and there, so that it doesn't give rise to future births. He himself explained that. I mean, yes, it's very profound.
Yeah.
Because he has told us all this, we know. And after she merged into Arunachala, he said there is no pollution and we can eat now. Generally, in Brahmin families, still the body is buried and all. They don't cook, they don't eat. But he said there is no pollution now. She has merged with Arunachala. And
Right.
yes. So.
And so, what about other women devotees?
See, most of the women who came to Bhagwan, Brahmin widows, they were actually very steeped in their traditions. One of these traditions I would like to talk about is when women get periods, according to the tradition, they are supposed to stay away from the kitchen, not touch anybody, and eat food which is cooked for them separately. Once it so happened that one of the lady devotees, she had a periods, and unfortunately for her, her relatives were away. So she came to the ashram. She stood outside the ashram gate and asked one of the kitchen workers to provide food for her. So after everyone has eaten, this lady cooked food separately and brought it. She was bringing it to her, and Bhagwan saw and he asked, "What's happening? What is this? Whom are you taking it to?" And she said that it is for Shantamal, because she's having her periods. So Bhagwan said, "Nothing doing. You should not do such a thing. Bring her inside the ashram and give her the food which you have served to all the other devotees." So this lady, both the ladies in fact were terrified, because they are going against customs and they knew they have to face the repercussions. And this lady, she said, "No, Bhagwan, I cannot do that." Bhagwan said, "Just do it." And so she said, "I was shivering when I served the food." And Bhagwan's brother, Niranjanan Swami, he told later that don't let the other devotees know what happened, because they will stop coming to the ashram. And Bhagwan overheard that. And Bhagwan said, "Let whoever wants to come, let them not come. I'm not bothered. But you can't hurt another devotee with such customs, keeping them away, giving them food, like you're discriminating." He wouldn't allow it. And of course, many Brahmin families stopped coming to the ashram. Uh, it so happened that they came to know of it. But Bhagwan was least bothered. He said, "No, this ashram is for everyone, and everyone has to be treated the same." And the ladies, when they recalled this, they said that Bhagwan was always trying to teach us that be kind, be compassionate, don't stick to traditions which don't have any meaning. And they said for many years we couldn't do it. And later on, after Bhagwan passed away, they have given such interviews, and they said what Bhagwan wanted us to do, now we understand. And we are doing it. That's
awesome.
Bhagwan was always like that, you know. He, even not only with human beings, even with the animals, the birds, he was the epitome of kindness and compassion and love, because he never thought anybody different from him.
And so he wouldn't make no difference between women and men.
No, no, he would never make any difference between a woman and man where realization was concerned. But women were not allowed to stay in the ashram after dark. They had to go to their houses in the village, or they had to come down and stay, because there is no proper accommodation.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, this struck me when I was reading this, because nowadays we come here and everything is kind of easy. It's quite easy
Yes.
to you go in a guest house. If Raman ashram is full, you go in a guest house and you can go to the ashram. But can I read a little bit of this? Because some of them, of these women, came to him for comfort and solace, some for guidance on the spiritual path. Some were called on to him, some came unbidden for his darshan and stayed back, having seen a living God. This book is a tribute to the women who stood against all odds, against the resistance afforded by home, relationships, and society. They struggled with their fears, surmounted the odds, and stood firm in their path. Some of them were alone, without resources. Even a simple thing like finding accommodation was challenging. Some found shelter in verandas or old abandoned temples. The fortunate ones found generous devotees who shared their accommodations with them. Their stories, told and retold, resonate their determination and unwavering faith in their guru. So I think this is so beautiful, because
Yes.
it really brings you there in that time where Tiruvannamalai was really different and the situation of women was really different, and so you can really perceive that they were really pulled to Ramana and
Yes.
overcoming adversities and finding a way really in the hardship just to be close to this nectar, let's say, to the
Yes, to
source
the
of being,
yes.
which is for every being, every human being. I guess that's the really the best nectar we are all seeking for.
That's very true. You know, from all walks of life, it's not that only the needy came for shelter. Even the Maharanis and people, socialites from elite backgrounds, they have also come, and Bhagwan treated them all the same. You know, where like nobody was given a special treatment. And but I personally feel that the workers in the kitchen, they benefited the most from him. Bhagwan used to see, they could never come to the meditation hall and sit or listen to anything. Their work was in the kitchen, and it was a tiring work, and they had to do a lot of physical activities. But Bhagwan used to, like, much earlier than they came, he used to wake up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, cut the vegetables and keep them ready so that they come and make the sambar and the early morning breakfast. And later on, also, when the ashram started, the devotees increased, and he stopped working in the kitchen. He used to go in the afternoons, spend time with them, talk to them, and tell them stories, you know, little stories from the scriptures, and also how he lived in the hills, and many of his own personal experiences of his childhood. Everything he used to like, that simplicity, what he had, was brought out by these women, not in the hall, but in the kitchen, where he could be one of them.
Lovely. And this
Yes.
remind me of something also, that in one poem he compares himself to a female devotee of Shiva. saying
Yes.
how he fell in love with Shiva, like
Aksharamanamale you're
yeah,
talking about.
exactly
Yes,
that one.
yes,
And
yes.
so, can we say that in Ramana, the Shakti, let's say the female and the Shiva, were both fully flourished
Yes.
too, and this is wholeness. This is
That is
Purnam.
Purnam, yes. And yes, actually, Bhagwan, he wrote this as a Naika, like as a girl wanting to join her beloved, and sings those 108 verses. And where she expresses her love, and initially she also blames him that it is you who dragged me and brought me here, and now it's your responsibility to look after me, otherwise I will face the shame and you will face the shame. And that's how it goes, so it's very beautiful, and but it is full of underlying depth of the yearning of the soul to unite with the Paramatma. And Bhagwan, later on, when people asked him to explain those verses, he said, they have come out so spontaneously, I cannot explain it. So, yes, but it's a very beautiful devotional poem. And
Hmm.
Bhagwan has written many other works also, but this we all relate to because the Bhakti Bhavana is prevalent in all of us. The love which we yearn for, we can relate to these
Sure,
verses.
sure. And
Come on.
I really like that it took the perspective
Yes.
of a woman in love.
Yes, yes, yes.
Um, yeah.
According to scriptures, they say that there is only one primordial Lord who is the male, and all of us, because we are all pining to be one with the Lord, we are all the female aspects of the divine. That is what it is said. So Mirabai, she was a great devotee of Lord Krishna. She used to go around places singing bhajans and all that. And once she went to a place and she wanted to meet the mahant of that ashram. And he said, I don't see women, I don't interact with women. And she asked, am I the only woman? So he got it that all of us are pining for the Lord, and we are all female aspects of the divine. So immediately
Okay.
yes,
Yearning for it in the sense of
yes, yes,
yearning to unite.
unite. And Bhagwan says actually the word Purna means fullness. We are all already full. It's just that we don't know it. You know that the wave consciousness. We are all the waves in the ocean. We are part of the ocean, but we are, the wave likes to
I am higher
play.
than you.
Yeah, and
I go faster.
I go faster. Let me touch the wind. The wind is playing with me. That sort of
Oh
thing.
gosh, we
So
really get lost in it.
yes, so we have the wave consciousness.
Sure.
So till you subdue that wave consciousness and realize that you are one with the ocean, you in the ocean there are treasures deep, the best treasures. But to look into that, we need to become the part of the ocean.
Surrender to the
Yes,
ocean.
yes.
It's not easy.
No, it is not easy because we think we are different. But yes, of course, it's not easy. But there is a possibility because Bhagwan will not draw us
Of
otherwise.
course. Of
So
course.
all of
We are
us have
supported.
to go back to him.
Yeah.
I and yes, I hope we all because Bhagwan has pulled us to him, I keep telling Bhagwan that no doubt this journey of exploration and adventure is good, but my destination is you. Until you take me there, uh, we will not be happy or restful. It's his job to do it, but that's how the
Yeah.
journey's end is with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
With the self. Thank you.
Thank you so
much
much.
for sharing all of this. It's
Thank
beautiful,
you.
beautiful, very precious. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
So we wish, well, you can check out Women Devotees of Bhagavan. I guess if you come to Tiruvannamalai, you can find it in the ashram. And inquire in yourself in whatever way you feel drawn to, and discover. Let's hope that we all discover that we are peace, and
Yes.
there is nothing else. So if you want to know more about the Women Awakening Project and ways also to support this journey into unfolding the wisdom of women across tradition, you can find more information in the link below. We will also put the link of the Ramanashram in case you don't know about this reality in Tiruvannamalai. And yeah, happy journey
Thank
towards the
you.
truth.
Yes.
Bye,
Bye.
Sneha.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank
It
you
was a
so
pleasure
much.
talking about the book. Thank you.
Thank you, dear. Thank you, dear.